Ladies and gentlemen, the world's #1 sports and recreation podcast, Cheap Heat. I'm your forever 24/7 champion, Peter Rosenberg in New York City. In Philadelphia, we have the physically large Statguy, Greg. And in Los Angeles, California, we have 37 at 37, Dipperstein, who appears to be wearing like a new hoodie of some sort. He's not wearing his torn up shirt. Thank you.
We bullied him. Bullying works and sometimes is a force for good.
Yeah, we've gotten you to not wear the torn up, disgusting, tattered, houseless clothing. You're wearing a sweatshirt now.
It's a beautiful sweatshirt. Very expensive. Very expensive sweatshirt.
Very expensive. Dip, all you needed it to be was fully covering your body. Like, very. You can't jump from last week. You had holes in your whole elbow was out. This is, you don't need to jump too expensive. Just full material.
Just get the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, just say, hey, can you guys finish this shirt?
You've seen this hoodie. You've seen this. It's been worn.
What is it? Just a black hoodie?
Yeah.
Just a standard plain black hoodie? It looks great.
Has a little bit of, weight to it. It's nice, expensive.
You keep saying expensive. That doesn't mean anything. Wait, is it a nice sweatshirt? Does it look nice? That's what matters, dude.
And them throwing in less material makes it even more expensive.
That's true. Sometimes your shirt, the one that is tattered and repugnant, you could have said it was like a fashion piece that cost thousands of dollars.
It's cashmere. It is cashmere at the end of the day.
Dip, do you know that there's currently a cashmere store on Broadway next to the sale store that you like to go to?
Oh, I love the sale store.
Next to the sale store, there's a cashmere store.
Wow.
They opened a seasonal cashmere store.
We love cashmere.
Yeah. By the way,
should only be wearing cashmere.
I don't understand. Cashmere, I don't understand.
You don't understand cashmere?
No. Sometimes it costs thousands of dollars. Then there's a cashmere store, 100% cashmere. Everything's $150. Could someone make it?
It's who's It's probably a closeout or like a discount thing of some kind, and it's not. The new hot-ish.
But they're all the same cashmere. Is my point. I thought it was like about the.
Things are manufactured differently. No, cashmere's not cashmere.
I think cashmere is cashmere.
I think cashmere is cashmere.
I really think cashmere. I really think cashmere is cashmere.
Okay.
You're telling me the cashmere at Bloomingdale's is different than the cashmere at the cashmere store, as different at the cashmere at the what was once Barney's? It's different cashmere.
It's different brands that manufacture cashmere.
But it's really just about what they call their brand. What I'm saying is, though, the cashmere part is cashmere.
It's kind of just like saying, is cotton cotton? Is plastic plastic?
Right, but cashmere has different...
But cotton is cotton. And what changed it is if they're going to go out their way and say, like, if they're going to throw the percentages around, like 100% cashmere
is 100% cashmere.
Cashmere is cashmere. That's just it. If they're going to like thin it out with like polyester blends.
If you're saying it's
polyester blends.
Says 70% cashmere, 30% wool. Well, that's not cashmere. It's cashmere. That's cashmere.
Right. That's cashmere wool. That's a blend. We're not talking about the blend. We're talking about cashmere is cashmere is cashmere.
I might get another cashmere sweater. I'm liking the cashmere.
I have tons of cashmere. I'm cashmereing and cashmere.
Well, what temperatures does it need to get to before you wear cashmere?
55.
55?
Yeah.
55. How many days a year you think you got a 55 in Los Angeles? 50?
Yeah. Yeah, that's accurate. Maybe
50,
less.
55 days, maybe less for cashmere?
I'm not going crazy with cashmere. I don't have like a full shelf of cashmere, but I have.
But I mean, talking like this, you got to have a full shelf of cashmere.
Yeah,
you can't talk like this and not have a full shelf.
I had a full shelf. When I lived in New York, there was cashmere all over the place. My whole apartment was cashmere. Now, you put some stuff away you don't wear anymore. Some stuff is old. The old cashmere is not the same as the new cashmere. You can't say cashmere is cashmere.
All right, cashmere is not cashmere. We've covered it, but I'll tell you what is happening. January 6th is I don't know if you know this, Monday Night Raw will be debuting on Netflix.
I didn't know. I had no clue.
1/6. Well, first of all, I don't know if you know the Saturday Night's Main Event was this past weekend.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm here to clear. I have to clear some things up. It's apparently being discussed on the internet that I was in cahoots with CM Punk to bury Hangman Page. And that is why I said the word moveset was because I was trying to team up with Punk to bury Hangman Page. Let me explain something to people.
Don't you love when the internet runs with the narrative?
That would imply that I knew Hangman Page had said the phrase moveset. I don't know anything about the details of the back and forth between CM Punk and Hangman Page. If it went beyond that press conference, like the press conference, anything deeper than that, I don't know.
There is no back and forth. This is just an internet narrative. Like Punk has tweets talking about how he hates the term moveset. So Hangman Page saying moveset this week, and then you saying it to Punk's face, Punk was going to respond to whoever said it at any time, regardless of what else is going on, because he does. He does. That's just an internet narrative that,
Wait,
Page
so
said it.
the Page thing saying it was only this week too?
Yeah, it was this week because Logan Paul announced his retirement. We'll see what that ends up being. And then Page sent out a tweet that said something like, "Oh, well, maybe the next guy you give half my move set to can actually be good," or something like that.
I mean,
that was a couple of days.
By the way, in defense of Hangman, the buckshot lariat, it's very Hangman.
Logan Paul had a great buckshot lariat too.
Oh, you're saying past tense already? You think he's done?
I'm just saying he has it, had it. Whoever is going to use it,
I think he's on the poster. I think he's on the poster for the press conference today at HQ.
Yeah, he is.
So my guess
on the
is
poster.
He's not retiring.
No.
Although he is supposedly fighting not Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor.
Which is an easy fight for them to get done because that's just TKO versus TKO right there. It's UFC, WWE.
Yeah, I guess I'd be somewhat interested. I'd like to see Logan Paul beat Conor McGregor. I think I'd enjoy that. Dipperstein, you were going to say something about the
moment has passed. The moment has passed.
So I just want to be clear, not to disappoint everyone. That situation was a rough 5 minutes for me. That interview, and I did not realize when I said moveset until Punk started going crazy on me. I did not realize, and I'm using going crazy being silly, but once I said it and he started making fun of me and being like, only idiots say moveset, I realized it's funny that I never use wrestler jargon when I'm at WWE. And the one time I used like internet jargon, it happens to be in front of the one guy who is going to call you out and bully you over, like go crazy over the use of wrestling jargon. So it was funny. Punk and I laughed about it afterwards. No one mentioned Hangman Page. We just sort of busted each other's chops a little bit over the moment. And that was it. I didn't think much of it.
I wouldn't be shocked if he had no idea that Hangman Page said it.
These people, though, the people who are in my comments the most, I have to be clear. They're not even just hardcore wrestling fans. They're like these Punk sycophants that are like abnormal. Like they think like I should know every word he's ever said if I'm going to have a conversation with him. It's like, I love CM Punk. He's a really great wrestler. When he walks in, I interview him like anybody else. I'm not like, I need to think of what Punk's been thinking about the last 3 years. I'm talking to Rhea Ripley in 5 minutes. I gotta talk to Meat Chin. Okay, I got other things on my mind here. There's lots to do. Anyways, go ahead, Deb.
I was going to say, I hang on Hangman Page's every single word.
Yeah.
So
you hang on Hangman.
I do. I'm hanging and hanging.
That's why a lot of people don't know this. That's how he got the name Hangman, because everyone's always hanging on every word that he has to say. Did we enjoy Saturday night's main event from the couch? SGG, was it a great watch? What are your thoughts on Saturday night's main event number 1?
I did enjoy it from the couch. It was a great watch. Maybe because I was already so excited to see it, and they blended in all those retro elements that we've now come familiar with. If you have joined us on the Patreon and saw some of the watch-alongs that we did, there was the Jesse Ventura in the crowd. Jesse Ventura in rare form, by the way, I would say, because especially with that call on the main event about the chair, I think he made that moment. And look, I didn't correctly predict the outcome of the match, but I'm gonna still go ahead and call myself the Oracle. Cody Rhodes did get obliterated, and Kevin Owens did walk out with the championship. So I'm gonna take 2 out of 3 and give myself the old Barry Horowitz.
You know what? I hate to give SGG credit, Dip, because he was definitely wrong. But he did obliterate him, and he did walk out with the championship. Those are
He did.
two
Those are
true
facts. You
things.
cannot argue this.
He lost the match, and he walked. He did not like. What do you? No.
Did Cody Rhodes?
Okay.
Did Cody Rhodes walk out on his own accord, or did he get stretched out?
Yeah, stretch it out.
That sounds like a man that was obliterated to me. And when the championship left the building, whose hands was it in? Was it in Kevin Owens' hands or Cody Rhodes' hands?
I think, as far as we know, Kevin Owens.
So Kevin Owens did walk out with the championship, and he did obliterate Cody Rhodes. Now, I predicted the outcome of the match incorrectly, but those details, the details that I sprinkled in,
matter.
They matter, and they were spot on.
Dip, did you enjoy the Saturday Night's Main Event viewing experience?
I really enjoyed Jesse Ventura. I thought that was really fun. I loved hearing his voice. That was like the reason that I watched. And I got what you wanted in that capacity. He did more than I thought he would. I thought he was going to do even less. And that's what I'll watch it for. The nostalgia elements and Jesse Ventura. Do I wish that they did more with the legends? Yes. Did we get Powers of Pain? No. Did we get Demolition?
We got Tito Santana though. I wanted Tito Santana. He was there.
But like we've seen Tito. I'd like to see Martel. But
I don't know if we'll ever see Martel.
Anyway, I thought that they could have done a little bit more with the legends. I thought that they were going to do the fun, like music in the beginning with the with the interviews. That they didn't do that.
I saw that. They didn't air that?
No.
It never got, not even on social, because like I saw it.
No. You saw
it was off
being filmed?
No, I saw the finished product.
We need to see we need to see it, because that's what
they all did the intros, and I saw it. It looked awesome.
Maybe it'll be a thing that they throw on Peacock for like
it was
the rewatch experience.
Let me just say this: my number one favorite thing was the start of the show.
Of course, yeah.
The fact that they used the TV switching to Channel 4, and they even included the following: Saturday Night Live will not be seen because of the following NBC presentation. That, and then at first they didn't use the Obsession. And I was like, wait, are they not using Obsession? And then when the show really officially started and it kicked into it, guys, in the building, when you heard it in the building plus the pyro, it was all the feels like that.
Really? But even with the lyrics, because the lyrics never made it to air years ago.
That is true. It was instrumental only, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So that was like the first time I think I'd ever heard the words. I'm like,
Wait, you've never listened to the song beyond the Saturday Night's Main Event intro?
No. The only song I consistently listen to in my car is the Orient Express theme. That's the only wrestling theme I listen to. And
that's how you know that despite being born
in
the 80s,
Dip
escaped like all the 80s things, because it did trickle into the early 90s too, and Obsession was still everywhere. Like
it's still, but like I hear it, you'll hear it now. You'll hear it like
you can avoid it though. Like
where do you hear it?
Obsession plays. I don't know. Actually, do you hear Obsession? Don't you? It plays in, like if you're at a bar, it plays in like a store.
I have never heard it in my life other than wrestling.
Natalie knows Obsession well, and she's never seen Saturday Night's Main Event, and she's born in '89. Obsession is a big. Now listen, let me defend you.
I didn't even know it was a song. I thought it was made by what's his name, Jim Johnson. I didn't even know. I swear.
Until when? Right now?
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. Why do you think then that it wasn't on Peacock? Like, why did they replace it on Peacock?
I didn't even think twice about it. It hasn't crossed my mind.
The reason they didn't want to pay for it. So they added the little Jim Johnson song or whatever it was on Peacock, because the song Obsession by Animotion peaked at number 6 on the Hot 100. It was a big song in the 80s.
I got to be honest, this is a complete blind spot for me. This went totally over my head. And I
Wow,
thought this was a Jim Johnson song. And I didn't even like think about it until I heard it again because I've been watching the network for so long that like I never even noticed it was gone. I forgot about it. I forgot that it even
Wow.
existed.
It's such a big part for me of the whole thing. And like I've been talking about this all week, I know, but like the whole Saturday Night's Main Event thing is the ultimate feel spot for me in every way. Like for some reason, more than anything else about wrestling, except for WrestleMania 3, Saturday Night's Main Event is like etched into the deepest part of my soul. And so like I can picture it in the TV guide. I can picture it in the Washington Post TV week. I can remember what would happen when it come on the screen. Every feeling is like associated with it. And that song, so in your defense, for years, I only thought it was the Saturday Night's Main Event song. But then sometime in like the late 90s, I don't know when, I heard it and I'm like, oh, the Saturday Night's Main Event song is like a song.
I never had that moment.
That was 30 years ago.
I never had that moment. I never had it. I thought it was a Jim Johnson song. I always thought, oh, this is quite good. This is clever.
It is quite good.
That is so funny. So I thought they killed it with all of that stuff. I thought, not shockingly, I thought Joe Tess was exactly the right guy to be there with Jesse. He has the perfect feel for it. He gets it completely. And it was a really good show. I thought the Chelsea thing was awesome. Everyone seemed ready. SGG, you did get that right. You did get the meat chin right.
Yeah, I just read the brackets. I did like that finisher though.
You did or did not?
No, I did.
Yeah,
I did that unprettier counter off the top rope.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was great. I thought overall it was fun. Oh, by the way, you know what I'm very into? I am very into. Wait for the word choice. I am very into Damian Priest borrowing from the Undertaker's moveset. Very into it.
That's right, because we say moveset here. We are the internet nerds.
Yeah,
we say moveset here.
Moveset. We said it. I'm all for him doing old school was awesome. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I agree.
I hate calling it old school. That's what I hate about it.
What?
I do hate calling it old school.
What do you call it otherwise?
What was it called before? I don't know what it was called before.
It wasn't called anything.
It only had a name in like the SmackDown era of Undertaker starting in like 2005. It didn't have a name before that.
Right.
Yeah.
But either way, did you like him doing it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But no, when you look at him, he was dressed sort of Undertaker-y. And then when he hits, his finish is basically a big choke slam.
It is a choke slam, yeah.
He should. I'm like, should Damian Priest be wrestling bigger? That's what it made me think. Should Priest be wrestling more like a big guy?
Well, I mean, he kind of does.
Honestly, he should.
He should. Would you consider Scott Hall a big guy?
Yes.
You do?
It depends on who he's against. Like, he wasn't as big as Kevin Nash or The Undertaker, but he was certainly one of the taller guys in the locker room.
And he certainly could have wrestled in that way. I mean, what is Priest? 6'5"? I have pictures with him. I look like an absolute miniature human being.
He's a big man.
He's taller than 6'5".
I think I would lean into it. I like Priest. He's got the dark. His look is already always all dark and sort of what's your favorite word, Dip?
Macabre.
He's very
macabre.
He's very macabre.
He is macabre.
I like him leaning into the macabre big man more. I'm with it. I also got to tell you,
I mean, he does the razor's edge. He does old school. He does the choke slam. The man's a wrestler from the 90s.
There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot going on there. Did you guys happen to see? I know Dip. No, Dip said you said you watched stuff. Did you happen to watch my conversation with Gunther?
No, I didn't see that one.
No, I didn't catch the Gunther.
You didn't catch the Gunther? I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Hold on, check this out.
Are you in Imperium? Because that's what I really want to know.
I'm not yet in Imperium, but I will say this. Gunther's character is evolving into an interesting place of like him being this just like friendly sort of, I just try to be a good athlete. Check out Gunther's vibe here.
at a historic Saturday night's main event at Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. A ton of great matches tonight, including a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship. Just finished.
That is right. It feels great to be here, and it feels great, I'm sure, to hear those words. And still, your World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther, still with the title around his waist. How you feeling?
Very good. First of all, we shake hands. Jackie, how you doing?
Congratulations.
I feel very good. Thank you. Very rough weeks leading up to that. And yeah, after that, the only thought that's really in my mind is, what did I doubt myself for? I was like, all along. One stone on my way. That's not a big thing. I should have swallowed that and keep going. And I questioned myself. And yeah, I'm going to learn from that for the future.
Well, you seem as confident as ever in this moment right now after successfully defending that World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Do you think their disdain...
He goes with like the hand on the waist, like thoughtful, pensive athlete thing.
He seems like a guy. He seems like the manager of a hotel. Those are the vibes I'm getting.
See, SGG, that's how you know Dip stays at nice hotels.
Yeah. He's seen the manager, and the manager is as nice and professional as Google.
Like,
Well,
well,
yeah,
I-
it looks like Gunther. He's wearing sweater vests. He's dressed nicely. This isn't a motel thing.
I could see him saying like, how was your stay? Oh, good. The buffet is open till 11, so if you'd like anything, please,
please,
enter
please.
it's the
Please
second
help
door to the
yourself.
left, and if you'd like a complimentary bag of peanuts or whatever on the way out, please take one. That's what he feels
Do you
like.
think
to
that?
me.
Hold on. Do you think we should go early '90s vibes with Gunther, and his new thing should be his nickname should be the hotel manager?
We got to come up with something better than hotel man.
He
What's,
feels like a hotel guy, like someone who runs a hotel.
What's one fancy word for hotel manager?
Hotelier.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Hotelier.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Gunther the hotelier.
He feels like a hotelier.
I do. I like that the character is evolving a bit. He is becoming this. He's just an athlete. He's just an athlete who tries his hardest. He's honest. He's fair. Like this to me is he needs to continue to develop. Obviously, we're getting further and further away from like the Imperium version of him, and I think that's.
I think they're baby facing him. They're baby facing him because just 2 months ago against Priest, also he was the arrogant asshole.
Yep.
Like, I'm better than you. You're street trash. Like, my parents gave me everything, and that's why I'm championship material right now.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
Yeah, and now he's
now he's a
like you
hotelier.
said, he's more leading into the sacred, the hotelier.
I'm into it. It's starting. It's getting somewhere. No major. I heard there was like some complaining on the internet. There was a little bit of the narrative of like, oh, the Saturday Night's Main Event is just like a glorified house show. To which I say, yeah.
Did you watch any of the ones before this?
Yeah.
Did you watch a single Saturday Night's Main Event?
You get an occasional major moving the story forward thing on Saturday Night's Main Event, but what the purpose is supposed to be is, at least I believe, showing a broad audience, and they ended up hitting between TV and Peacock 2.3 million people, showing a broad audience your stars, what they do, and just putting on a show.
You could tell that. You could tell that
they should be glad they got the main event at the end and not in the middle.
Yeah, or first. Go ahead, Dip.
You could tell that Michael Cole was was explaining a little bit, to the audience what was going on. He had the
encyclopedia out.
He had the encyclopedia out, which is like my least favorite thing that Cole does. Even though I have, we love Cole, we love Michael Cole.
Yeah. The voice of Debbie.
But the explaining is, obviously, it's not.
But
for
you
us.
have to.
It's for other people.
Correct. It's not for you. This is like Dip's reviews of the McMahon documentary. He was very hard on it. Everyone I've talked to who's a lapsed fan or not a fan comes up to me and goes, "Have you seen the McMahon documentary?"
Every day it happens to me. Every single day.
And what did I tell? When this all happened, I would like to say, Dip, my response to you was, it wasn't my all-time favorite thing. I didn't learn that much, but it wasn't for us. And it has worked. People are still watching it every day. It's as if it just came out. So I think Saturday Night's Main Event is similar in the sense that they're trying to get people who don't normally watch. Thought they did a great job. Next one's 125. But before that, I don't know if you guys know this. Raw is moving to Netflix on January 6th. And they've announced quite a card for this event, including CM Punk and Seth Rollins. So I was doing an interview with my friend Jonathan Zaslow, who does a nice wrestling program, and he was suggesting to me the thought that if we're getting CM Punk and Seth Rollins on 1/6, does that mean that likely CM Punk and Seth Rollins is not a WrestleMania match anymore?
That's what I would agreed. Yeah.
So do you think now that CM Punk is going to try to get Paul Heyman to return the favor at WrestleMania, and we're going to get CM Punk Roman Reigns at WrestleMania this year?
100%. I was thinking the same thing. That's the return the favor. That's the big favor, is the WrestleMania match with Roman Reigns for the title. And
SGG,
I'm not sure what happened with Seth.
You're the Roman whisperer. What do you think?
I honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna have to reserve judgment till after January 6th because
wait, what's happening January 6th? Oh, sorry, I got it.
Oh yeah. No,
okay.
Netflix.
We're starting Netflix.
Exactly.
Sorry.
The 2025 wrestling fans can now openly say where they were on January 6th with no I was home watching Netflix. But no, seriously, this is January, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania season. That's the time where they go in all these crazy directions. Like, even just think about the build to WrestleMania this year for WrestleMania 40. It was super erratic. Cody won the Rumble, and we weren't even sure whether or not he would be in the main event of that match until mid-March, because it was going to The Rock, and then maybe he was going to choose Seth Rollins, even though he pointed at Roman Reigns, and the story, like, there's just so many different directions they could go. So really, I have no idea what they're going to do in terms of Punk and Rollins for WrestleMania. But I will say this, he came back and he spent 8 or 9 months on Drew McIntyre with a 3-match series. So Punk Rollins at Netflix could very well be the start and not the end, even though they sprinkled in so much history there. That could be the start of where he ends up at WrestleMania. And it could be in the main event. The title could be around somebody's waist in that match, whether it's Punk or Rollins by that point. I really have no idea.
Let's just say The Rock is not at WrestleMania this year.
Which it's feeling like he's not, by the way.
It's feeling like he's not. So let's just say, I mean, I think that the big blow off is so like this Raw is the big bloodline blow. I got to be, I'm going out on a limb and saying this is the big bloodline blow off, and like this is the War Games. War Games was the big, blow off for the teams and themselves, and the Thomas Schmanga and the Schmanga Loa and all the whole Schmanga situation. That was the end of it at War Games. And the end of the bloodline story is going to be, Roman beating Solo Sikoa on Raw, which is premiering on Netflix on January 6th. And then after that, you have... Yeah, just make sure you have it written down.
I got it. Babe, can you put down January 6th? We got to watch Raw on Netflix. All right.
And after that, Roman goes his own separate way with Paul Heyman, and we begin the CM Punk thing. I think we get CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. Those are the 2 big matches for WrestleMania.
It feels like all the momentum, for whatever reason, is turning towards John Cena, Gunther.
I know.
That's where it's going.
But where do you put Cody?
Randy Orton.
Ugh.
Kevin Owens.
That's not
Randy
exciting.
Orton and Kevin Owens.
That's not exciting. Cody is not exciting.
Cody Rhodes against his mentor in wrestling, his first faction leader.
SG, but you're off on this. It's gonna be.
It's not exciting.
It's gonna be Randy. It's gonna be Randy versus KO. Come on, they've been selling the Randy beatdown from KO for 2 months.
They have, and Cody got a similar. And Cody got a similar beatdown.
Yeah, but Cody's gonna move on past KO. We know that, and then it's gonna be Randy KO, and I do agree with Dip. If it's Cena Gunther, and if it is Randy KO, and if it is, does Cody go back to Seth?
No.
There's nothing there.
No, they allies now. They buried the hatchet already.
Well, they're
So
allies
yeah,
now. You have months to go.
Yeah, but so what
That's
could it
fact.
be?
That's true. That's fact.
But what could it be though?
There's
And
so much up in the air.
And where's Seth?
I don't know.
I think maybe Seth gets Punk. I don't see them just having it be a one-off at Netflix.
I don't think it's a one-off either. They have not.
The bigger
become
question
one-offs
is what happens to Roman, because these other stories are building, I wouldn't say clearly to WrestleMania, but these other people have paths, and Roman is putting a bow on the bloodline thing.
This is
But
it.
here's the
So that's
but here's the thing. Here's why I'm not even worried about Roman.
because he's Roman.
He has like 12 options.
Right.
Roman, you could literally have, if you wanted to at Mania this year, tell me when I say a match that wouldn't be Mania worthy. Roman Cena would be Mania worthy. They're not going to do it.
Huge.
But they could.
Huge match.
Roman Cody again. Anytime they want to do it, they have that as another option.
What about Roman Seth?
Roman Seth is sitting there whenever, and they're going to do it one day. That is an option. Roman Rock, of course, one day is going to be an option. Roman Randy having the big spot for them to do it. Totally an option. They're
probably gonna Roman Drew is not a bad option either, with Drew running through everybody.
We've seen Roman Drew 100 times.
We've seen Roman Seth hundreds of times.
Yeah, but not.
We've seen Roman and Cody at the past 3 WrestleManias. They're building these.
It better not be Roman Drew, dude. It better not be Roman Drew.
Yeah, Roman Drew. I'm going with Dip on this one. That would be a thud at this moment. Of all the options you have, that would not be sexy.
No.
Not this psychotic Drew against Tribal Chief.
Great wrestling
borderline babyface Roman.
No.
I just think he has other things that have so much more like a deeper history.
It won't be a main event. It won't be a main event match.
Roman will be in the main event.
I don't think it's an unsexy match.
Roman is in the main event of Mania. No question.
Yeah. He
could open the show and go home.
No, I don't think that's how he does it, bruh. I think that's main event. That's main event Roman Reigns right there.
Yeah.
By the way, is there a version ever where the new Jey Uso, the new over Jey Uso, gets another shot at Roman Reigns? Is that dead? Like, why wouldn't this version build back to that, where they have a legitimate, where you could actually believe Jey Uso could win this time?
How about
you believe Jey Uso could win all the other times, right? He was screwed out of every other loss.
No, I never believed he could win. But this time I might.
How about triple threat, Cena, CM Punk, Roman? Or Cena, CM Punk, Cody?
For Cody's title?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's fine. I don't love triple threats, but you do have a lot of big people at the top of the card here. So
that's what's making it tough to figure out what's going to happen, right? Because in years past, it was clearly a this guy versus that guy situation. And there are so many men at the top of the card that could easily, like, you piece it together and you could find a great, compelling story and flesh out your 2 main events. It's hard to predict.
I just don't want to see Cena in a put over match again. I don't need to see him put anyone over.
You think there's one person listening who knows that you don't want to see that?
I don't want to see that.
I am with you now. I do think it's tremendous.
Put him in the top match already.
I don't know if it's the top. It could be second from the top. I would just like him to maybe win.
Yes, win the title or turn heel.
And by the way,
one or the other.
Shouldn't they just I know this is going to sound like blasphemy, especially for me, who's not even the world's biggest Cena the wrestler fan. Don't you have to have him beat Flair's record?
I'm okay with him not.
But just think about this for a second. Think about the corporate entity that this company has become. Why would he not? You know what I'm saying? From a corporate standpoint. Why would
the reason for him doing it is the same reason why I knew that Roman's title reign was going to go absurdly long, was because, like you said, from a corporate standpoint, you now have this ambassador that you can get 30 or 40 more years out of, that has the record, that has the thing.
They've been calling him SGG. They've been already calling him the greatest of all time. Make him the greatest of all time. Can you at least make it true? You have the choice. Give him 17 championships. What are we talking about here? I mean, listen, the wrestler nerd in me hates that, because I love that Flair is the 16th time, and I would love for it to always be that. But when you think about the way that this company, this conglomerate moves, why would you not have it be the guy who's kind of a flawless person and is going to come around for the next 25 years? So it'll be interesting. I haven't beat Gunther. I haven't beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. You don't,
and that establishes that new belt too.
No, I just
What is it?
I don't know. I don't know. I want him.
You want bigger than that?
See, like I don't know. This is where Greg and I really differ.
Okay.
Like Greg, tell me, like you see Gunther to me, and you see Gunther and Drew McIntyre, okay, as like the top of the card.
No,
correct?
not the top. He doesn't see him as the top.
They're among the top.
Greg.
They're among the top. Like if you list out the names of the main eventers and people at the top of the card, I think they're on there.
So, but you are of the mind, and I'm just picking a fight with you at this point. That
we need this.
That,
we need this.
That,
this has been too pleasant of an episode.
You think that Gunther is big enough to headline WrestleMania right now?
On a 2-night affair, I think he is.
Okay.
I think he can get that Saturday.
I do not. I don't think that he is big enough. I like Gunther a lot. I'm into it. He's one of my guys. I am a fan. I hope he's around forever. But at this moment, I cannot envision him with the title on the poster in the headline match of one of the nights of WrestleMania. Just at this moment. Maybe next year, but at today, this is a Cena, CM Punk, Cody, Roman Reigns situation.
So let's decide on it then. Who are the 4 men that we think are worthy, assuming that they have men headline both nights, but let's just call it that. Doesn't matter. Who are the 4 men? Who are the 4 men who should be at the top of the 2 nights of WrestleMania? Roman and Cody are done. We know. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, they're in.
They're in.
They're in.
Is the next one Punk?
Yes.
We all agree. So Punk would be the 3rd one based on where he is right now. This is where it's interesting. Who is the 4th one?
Cena.
And you think it's Cena?
Yes.
SGG?
No, I don't think so.
Where would you
go? Say
Seth?
I would go Randy Orton.
Yeah, this is where we differ. I don't agree.
Over Cena, who we know is on his like retirement tour. Like,
why? You got to do it now.
But this is a big deal that he's on his retirement tour.
So because he's saying goodbye,
if they're going to make the biggest deal about
all the flowers in every city that he goes to, and a title, and the main event at WrestleMania, whether or not the story deserves it or not, I think by that time we get to Mania, that Randy Cody story is going to be huge. And if those are the 4 guys, you get huge matches out of both nights, title or not, because Punk and Roman would not need a title.
No.
And Randy is also chasing that Ric Flair record. He's a few further behind than Cena, but he also has more years than Cena. So you throw him in a world title match, you have him on the hunt also. And along with the story that he has with Cody and their history, I think that's big match material right there. I can't believe you're making me defend Randy Orton.
Look at you.
He's a great, like, Randy not only is he a great guy, but saying that Randy Orton belongs in the main event should not be a controversial take here.
Of WrestleMania this year?
Yeah.
No. That's not where he's at right
now. I don't hate the idea of it, but if I'm to choose between Cena and Orton this year for the 4th slot, it's Cena. This is it.
There'll be a triple threat.
I don't want him to be. I'm with Dip that I don't think we have had too many Manias where he's gotten a throwaway match. He should be at the top of the card. Like Hogan Rock, they didn't throw Hogan on some match in the middle of the card. You're coming back to end it. Let's put him at the top. Why not?
Yeah. Frankly, I would like to see Seth and Punk in a blood feud, just going at the top of their game on the mic. They're both great on the mic. End of story. It should be CM Punk and Seth through Mania, and the final. Yeah, and the match at Mania should be some gimmick match, blow off, incredible. Like it should be in the Steamboat Savage, spot.
I'll say this about Hogan Rock, just to point out, they didn't close the show. It was a marquee match. Cena can have a marquee match that doesn't close the show.
But he fought The Rock, dude.
And there weren't 2 nights then, because that would have been main eventing the other night.
Possibly.
Yes, he fought The Rock.
Possibly. But he didn't close the show. He didn't close the show.
Which in retrospect looks insane. Everybody knows that. It looks like
Triple H and Jericho closed the show that year.
And we all
Triple H ended
we
with
all
the
talk about the Triple H Jericho match from 18.
But that goes back to that other point too, right? Like, it's the Cena match is going to be a big match. It's not going to be a throwaway. But is it going to be like that main event match, like that big main event match with the story and everything that you can get out of maybe some other combinations of guys? I don't think so.
I got to tell you, now that I'm thinking about it, the farther that you get away from Gunther being a heel, the less interesting he is. It's like him being the Imperium giant heel worker, ring general. The farther you get away from that, he's just a regular
it's
guy.
It's going to be hard.
He's a big, tall.
I will say this, even though I enjoy the nuance he has right now, I see what you're saying in terms of in the long term, what do you do then to make him stand out? He'd have to develop into something else altogether, which, by the way,
which I'm fine with too. I hope he does. And I think he's capable of that. He's awesome. I like him. I really do. I'm a fan. But the farther you get away from him being the stone cold heel who everyone hates and boos and can't get a word out, it's like he's not that interesting, and he's going to have to drop the title at a certain point. So maybe he drops the title to Cena.
That's what I'm saying. That to me,
like Cena with him on the shoulders is like a big shot. It's like a big deal.
The attitude adjustment to Gunther to win the title at Mania would be awesome. I guess.
I guess.
I just think. Well, doesn't it split the difference? Like SGG is,
but Cena's back. Cena's coming. Sorry to interrupt. Cena's coming back as a hardcore babyface. So the farther you get, like I said again, the farther you get away from Gunther as like the heel.
Then what's the point? What are we doing?
Yeah.
But hold on, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth though, because you also talked about the idea of Cena and Cody, which would be a huge babyface.
Yeah. But Cody is the biggest star in the company right now, and it feels like a pass the torch match. It feels like a Hogan Warrior match where you have 2 baby faces, and like Cena is the biggest star of the previous generation, and I'm not discounting Roman Reigns, but like Cody Rhodes is the biggest. They're the 2 biggest baby faces of the last 20 years.
Yes,
and having them wrestle for the title at Mania, and him, I would like to see Cena beat Cody, but like Cody beating Cena at Mania and him giving, I don't know, it just feels more cinematic.
I hear that, but listen, this is what makes this whole thing hard. Like they have so many people, and then you want to get even more difficult. Zaslow asked me this on his show yesterday when I went on with him, and I literally was like, "What woman wins the Royal Rumble this year?"
And what show is this, and where can people find it?
Jonathan,
people need more Rosenberg. Let's be honest.
That's a great point. The Zaslow Show 2.0 is what it's called. Just Google Jonathan Zaslow Show, Zaslow. Really good sports talk host out of Miami, and his podcast is called Zaslow Show 2.0. I was on yesterday. But yeah, he asked me who's going to win the Women's Rumble.
It's probably going to be Charlotte, isn't it?
I guess. But Charlotte's going to be back before that, I bet, so it wouldn't be like a surprise return.
I'd love to see it be Bliss.
A returning Bliss could be fun.
Bliss is going to probably be tied up in whatever the Wyatt Six has going on with whoever they have it going on with. So
you think?
Yeah, I do.
So
I think she might be on her own.
I think she's going to be wrapped up in whatever the spookiness is. I think that's where she's going.
I hope it's spooky. I want to see spooky.
Yeah. She's going to be with the spookiness.
I'm looking.
Can I give you a hot take? That would be kind of mid for her. You're putting her in the mid card. Sorry, that's where that is. She's not a mid. She shouldn't be put in the mid card when she comes back. I don't think
she can be the thing to heat up the story, though, right? Like she could, like you would want her to go wherever the hot story is.
But how do you heat that up, man?
That's why I'm in the audience. I have no idea. I do know Bliss could do it.
I don't. Listen, tell me how it's going to happen. This is why you have people like Dip who think the only route for the Wyatt Six is for them to feud with Cody Rhodes, which I think is insane. But then at the same time, getting them out of the mid card is hard. It's a hard, macabre thing to do. And
They can stay in the mid
I
card and
want
be
all the
interesting.
macabre.
I want Bliss to get. Do you guys remember when Bliss was truly at the top of the women's division? Like she was really one of the 4 at the top. Like she should be there again.
Bliss and Liv Morgan is a good feud, and that could headline that could headline a Mania night, I think.
I don't know. And you just think about the names you just said. That would mean you're telling me Liv and Bliss is going to jump over Cena,
Roman,
Gunther.
Cody, Cena.
No, but that could be like a great. That could be that could be in the women's title slot.
Yes,
you know.
Yes, I agree with that.
I'd love to see Rhea versus Becky versus Charlotte. That's a match.
Rhea, Becky
versus
Charlotte.
Mage.
I agree. Actually,
it would be fun. It would be fun.
I agree.
Is it time to put a bow on Liv and Rhea? I mean,
I think we're gonna get that January 6th. I think the bow is coming on January 6th.
That's the end.
By the way,
it hasn't been announced.
That's the day at Netflix that it premieres on Netflix. Raw.
Yeah,
Monday Night
Raw. I'm gonna be there
on January.
Not in the building, but
January 6th.
Okay.
I'm storming to my television to watch
with the whole world watching.
No, I think you're right. I think that will be the end. I think Liv Rhea will be done that day. I mean, Rhea has been dealing with Liv now since before Mania.
Yeah.
This has been a long time coming.
That Liv Morgan Revenge Tour started almost a year ago.
Yeah. So it's time. And then where do you go from there? And then I don't know, could it be Becky winning the Rumble?
Yeah.
And isn't Charlotte going to come right for Nia when she comes back? Isn't it going to be that you think you're the queen of the ring, I'm the queen? Isn't it a queen versus queen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's still a title situation for Charlotte, though.
Yeah, it's a title situation.
You have about to be a women's division that is so stacked again. Not that it isn't now, because it is.
Even
but
more, though, yeah.
Think about what we're about to get. Becky Lynch. We're about to get Charlotte. We're about to get Alexa Bliss. Plus Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Bianca, Jade, hopefully again soon.
And don't forget whoever gets called up from NXT right now, because Roxanne Perez is killing it down there. And it's just a matter of time before she's main roster ready. I think she's main roster ready right now. But
so here are your winners of the Women's Rumble: Bayley, Rhea, Ronda, Bianca, Charlotte, Becky, and Asuka.
When is Asuka coming back?
That's a damn good question.
I mean, you can't forget about her.
Asuka, Becky, Charlotte, Bianca, Ronda, Rhea, Bayley. Who would be interesting to win?
Bliss. Macabre Bliss. Would be
I like.
I think it's going to
she
be her.
she scares everyone out of the ring.
I like non-Macabre Bliss even winning the Rumble.
I want Macabre Bliss. You want non-Macabre Bliss.
I want non-Macabre Bliss. She was just so much more mage as non-Macabre Bliss. You're forgetting. You're forgetting how mage she was.
I don't forget. I don't forget.
Don't get caught up in Macabre Bliss. She was major as non-Macabre.
I want everyone to be Macabre. I want Macabre Cody.
You mean Stardust?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had Macabre Cody. We interviewed him. He's the one who said sweet Peter Rosenberg. All right. We're coming to a close here on the free episode, and we owe everyone a Patreon this week, guys, because we blew it last week.
We'll get it done.
We love Patreon.
And there are people who think that I ducked Patreon because of the CM Punk interview. That is not true.
So you're just going to kill kayfabe this whole episode, right? So
to.
the Hangman thing wasn't planned. You're not ducking Punk.
I'm just stupid. I thought there was a world in which I would get home. I would be gone all day Saturday for Saturday night's main event. And then Sunday, I would get up and have time to do a Patreon before Natalie's baby shower. Like, it was just a stupid thought. Like, that was just a completely unreasonable. But I will tell you what, I am around not doing very much over all the holidays. So there will be bonus content, maybe some live shows, some hangouts. Because you know me, I get bored. Sitting in the house every day, I'm going to get bored.
He
So
got the mic right there, the
the
setup
mic
right there.
right here.
Peter has to talk. He can't just shut up for
I
2
can't.
seconds.
And like particularly like this is so fun. Like the wrestling, the cheap heat stuff is like it's fun. This isn't like work. Well, you know what?
Don't you have a baby coming soon or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that baby's gonna hear him talking.
Yeah,
Don't you worry.
By the way, I'll probably do a Patreon from the hospital, depending how long labor is. You know what I mean? A watch along, watch the birth along. It could happen. But I mean, listen, sports. There are days when I show up and I go, "Oh, we got to talk about sports." There are no days I feel that way about wrestling. I always feel
We love
there's
wrestling.
more to be said. Now,
We think it's great.
SUG, when I accidentally said that Koko Beware was not in the WWE Hall of Fame, how bad do you think it played out on video?
On video, I don't think it played out that bad because Koko came in and he was gracious about it. He was more gracious than Punk when you said moveset.
Way more. He didn't care. He was just friendly. Here's the thing. Here's how I looked at it. The fact that Koko walked in the screen and said, "I am in the Hall of Fame," that could make people think the whole thing was a work. Because they'd be like, who would be that dumb that they would blatantly get it wrong while the man is clearly standing 5
there.
feet away? You'd have to be a moron. So I think it played great. Like, oh, he must have done it just so Koko could walk in and they could have the moment. No, that would be
I don't
incorrect.
think anybody's.
I am that dumb. But afterwards, we had the conversation. Should we put this out, or do I look so stupid that we don't use it? And I decided in that moment with our producers, I was like, guys, wrestling is about some people looking great and some people looking stupid. If every time someone looks stupid, you asked to not use the tape, you'd have no wrestling. So I look stupid. But guess what? Koko looked great. We all did the Birdman with CM Punk. We're not going to not use this clip. Like, I have to be the guy. I'm the idiot. Use it. And
But also,
What a guy you are. What a guy.
What was
I think
crazy
so.
to me was the fact that we spoke about Koko so many times in the lead up to this, and every time you mentioned that he was in the Hall of Fame.
I did.
You know that he's in the Hall of Fame. You knew this. We've discussed Koko being in the Hall of Fame.
2009. It was so long ago. I don't know how I messed it up. I don't know. You know what it is too? I think
Was he wearing his ring? Oh, did he not get a ring back then? He probably got a
pre-ring.
plaque.
It might be pre-ring. Might have been a plaque.
That's what you should have said. We need to. So you were technically right. We do need to get Koko a Hall of Fame ring. We do need to get him a Hall of Fame ring.
See, and now you guys know why when I was attacked by that evil weatherman. Now you know why SGG was my lawyer. He just found a way to make me right in saying that Koko wasn't in the Hall of Fame. But the funniest
need to get him a ring.
The funniest part about that day is I really spent a lot of time with Koko. Like I really did. So much so, guys, that I'll be honest, I don't think I'm speaking out of school here. He didn't seem super tech savvy. So in order for us to make sure we talked to Koko, I took his phone and saved my name in it with WWE personality in parentheses, so he knows to answer when I call. Like, we're going to have Koko on. I kicked it with him. He's a great guy. And I got to tell you guys, when I walked in to TV Locker on Saturday, see Joe Tess, we catch up for a little bit. And then there was a little curtain. The curtain where I was doing the interviews, behind that curtain is where the legends like were getting dressed. Greg the Hammer, Tito Santana, Jimmy Hart,
Mage,
Koko, and then Jesse comes in, and Jesse starts holding court and talking to everyone. It was, I got to tell you guys, on the last episode of Cheap Heat, we said they better choose the right era of legends. They did it. They only chose original era Saturday Night's Main Event legends, and they deserve props for that. They got it right.
Yeah, they nailed it.
They absolutely nailed it. And Tito Santana, we got to get him on the show. This is a guy.
Yeah.
How do people not talk about the fact, all the sad stories in wrestling, no one talks about the guy who took his full health and mental capacity and decided, I'm going to retire and become a 30-year educator and get a pension and just live a normal life. He's the most normal, not a former. You know what he is? Tito is like an athlete of yesteryear. You know how back in the day, athletes would like play pro football, but then they'd also be like a bus driver because they didn't get
Yeah.
paid? He's like a former athlete who just became a teacher. Like, it's amazing. Anyways, guys, I got to go give Rocky his medicine. We will do a Patreon this week. We love you all. Patreon.com/staymage. Join us this week. Send your comments in. SUG Dip, do me a favor. Stay mage.
Take it easy, man.
Yep. You too.
And Emilio, enjoy yourself, by the way.